Hey y'all, welcome back to Reddit the Wire, and please like and subscribe, and thanks for coming by. Today, as part of our daily preview of Saratoga Stakes races, we're going to be taking a look at the New York Stallion Series Stakes that's going to be run on Thursday for the State Breds. So let's take a look at it. Okay, the New York Stallion Series is for 3-year-olds, New York Breds, and it's run on the turf, inner turf, at 1 mile, and it's the 10th race at Saratoga. So we'll take a look. Number 1 is Gem Mint 10. A lot of these came out of a New York Stallion Series Stakes at Belmont, 7 furlongs last time. He just sort of lingered mid-pack, really didn't do a whole lot of running against this group, and I just don't think is as good as the top runners in this field. Maybe with a little bit of improvement could factor somewhat. You do see at a mile at the N1X level, he put in a pretty solid race, but he just kind of looks like a cut below here. If he could carve out a trip near the leaders, then possibly he can get the jump on Ramblin Wrecks. But I don't know. I just don't really like his chances here. It's all coming together. Ran a pretty good race last time, and he was up near the pace most of the time, and you could see he was vying for the lead and just kind of faded a little bit late. That was a premium effort compared to what he had done previously, and it was his first against winners, so we could give him a little something there. But he needed another jump forward, I think, to compete with the better horses in this race, and I'm just not sure that that's going to happen. You can see he went off at 19-1. Phil Serby, famous for throwing bombs, but it's the next race that you want to bet against him, and I think this is the case here. Number 3, Laurel Valley, to me is pretty intriguing. We got Mike Maker, who is a specialist in stretching horses out on turf, and they're going to 2 turns for the first time here on turf, that this one is. So that's a positive right off the bat. You also get Tyler Gaffalione, and that can't be by accident. So I think there's some good intentions here. That last race, in particular, wasn't bad, but it's the 1-2 back that's really intriguing. Look at those fractions, 22, 44, and 121 for 7 furlongs and a maiden claimer. And he battled with Willintoriskitall all the way down the stretch. He ran what I consider to be a really nice race. And it does stack up. The Beyer-wise, it doesn't necessarily, but Brisnet, it does. It stacks up pretty well. So probably could have done a little better in the next race, cutting back in distance, but I think this one wants a little longer. And he is by Lauben, who's by Uncle Mo, who is a leading sire at Saratoga, and that's always a positive angle. A lot of them in here are by Lauben. So at 20-1, I think this one offers some pretty good value. Mike Maker is 26%, 55% in the money, third off the layoff with 3-year-olds only. So it's a good positive spot, one to think about. Probably under is more likely, but you're getting a nice price. Vacation Dance, trained by John Kimmel. And this one is, if you go back to the 2-year-old form, he's run some races that could win this. Particularly the Atlantic Beach, he said won a really nice race on the front end. It was speed favoring, but he did show some ability. 3-year-old hasn't been as good, and you do have that lingering thought that perhaps he just hasn't progressed at 3 from his 2-year-old year. He didn't do badly in the last. I mean, he was, kind of he did run 4th. He was up near the leaders, but really didn't factor a whole lot. Just sort of ran around the track, and that's a little troubling. Now, you're getting Kendrick Carmouche, and he is going to be more aggressive than perhaps Rosario was with him. So you probably will see this one right up behind the leaders, and then it'll be a question if he's good enough. I'd like to see, personally, this horse on the front end to try to take him wire to wire. And that very well may happen. If so, Carmouche is a good jockey for that. So it's not impossible, but I think there's others better suited for this one. The pace will likely be kind of quick, and that would make things difficult. And those others are going to be up near the lead. They're going to make it really hard to wire. So under's probably more likely for this one. The one other positive you can say, he does have a win at Saratoga at first asking, and that's always a positive coming back. So maybe you can upgrade this one a little bit. I think at least under, and maybe you can maybe go on top for the price, but I'm not sure that that's completely realistic. Mama Band Me is one that has been running in the claiming ranks. You see, had to drop to the maiden claimer to break the maiden. It's always a red flag. Did it around 2 turns though, and this is a 2-turn race today, and many of them haven't done that before. So that is a bit of a positive. Uh, he's been incrementally improving, and he has faced older and done pretty well, and so that's a feather in the cap. But I think this one probably needs a pretty big step forward to compete here, and I'm not willing to back him. Willintoriskitall is very interesting as well. He comes out of that same race that Laurel Valley did, that maiden claimer I was talking about. And yes, it was a maiden claimer, but look at those fractions. And I mean, he was full of run. He set the pace the whole time and had enough to hold off Laurel Valley in the stretch after setting really quick fractions. And that was a big improvement over his dirt form. So obviously turf is preferred here. Jose D'Angelo is really good first off the claim, so that's an added positive. You know, if he gets on the front end and could run something like that again, he's got a shot here. It's Brisnet-wise, his numbers are better than the buyer looks, so he's more competitive in this field than perhaps it looks on paper, just a daily racing form. So this is one that at 20-1, again, another one at a really good price, and I think he's going to be in the mix. And it's entirely possible if you can find a way to slow it down a little bit. Doesn't look like he likes to do that, but that was a really big effort, and he may surprise you. So one to think about. Number 6. Number 7 is Ramblin Wrecks, and he's the morning line favorite, and deservedly so. Last race, once he kicked it into gear, it was all over. He had some decent pace to run to. So if the 6 decides to get on the front end and run it quicker, that just goes right into this one's wheelhouse. You get Irad Ortiz, and the best thing about this one is he's continuing to improve, and he debuted at 3 with his career high buyer, which is exactly what you want to see. I don't think it's going to be a problem stretching him out to a mile, and you get Irad Ortiz, all systems go. He's an obvious win candidate. 26 Black is probably the second choice, logical. And, you get Manny Franco, really nice turf rider aboard, who's been with this one all the way. You see steady improvement for every single race. But this was the first time that he kind of regressed a little bit class level wise. You see the buyers are continuing to get better, but he didn't run as well at the class level for the first time, and that's a little troubling. That means maybe the waters are getting a little deep, because he didn't do anything wrong in this race. He got to the front, he looked like he had it in hand, and then Ramblin Wrecks just blew right by him. So that's a little bit of troubling scenario. If they could moderate the pace a little bit more, that might help his chances a bit, but it's probably not going to be likely because of the presence of the 6-speed in this race. So he may be a little bit of a paper tiger here, and that's it makes the 7 look all the more attractive as a win candidate. So just not sure of this one's chances. I mean, Horacio De Paz is a good trainer, and again, you get Manny Franco, but I'm just not sure this one's going to take another step forward, which would be required to win this race. You do have a main track only entrant, and being early in the week, it is entirely possible that they would move this one to dirt. If they do, you have Jackson Heights, number 9. And, his form has really not been so hot in the New York Stallion series, and the Mike Lee, the Sleepy Hollow really hasn't done a whole lot of running. You are getting Orlando Noda, who's been doing pretty well, was doing pretty well at Belmont lately, and you get Irad Ortiz, which is certainly a big step up. Nothing against Trevor McCarthy, but he has shown that he can be competitive. You go back to the stakes race at Aqueduct in September, but that was at 2. Didn't debut with his career high buyer at 3, which you always like to see. He certainly seems to be a little capable of better. I'm just not so sure that he's a logical push-button win candidate if this goes to dirt. So I would use this one advisedly if it goes to dirt. So here's what our top 5 looks like for the New York Stallion series. Number 1, we're going to take Ramblin Wrecks. I think his late running style is perfect here. There is some pace to run to, and he's improving at just the way you'd like. His class level is increasing as the class level of race. So he's an obvious stretching out. It's not going to be a problem for this one. It should actually help his closing style. Number 2 is Laurel Valley. Mike Maker's stretching this horse out third off the layoff is a really good angle. He comes out 2 back out of a race that I thought was really solid and for a maiden claimer that fits very well here. Will be coming from off the pace and should make a move forward. He's got a chance at 20 to 1, great value. Number 3 is 26 Black. He's certainly going to run his race, and he fits here. There's no question about it. I'm just not sure that he is going to be making another move forward to factor this race. Moreover, he's going to be close to what probably will be a pretty hot pace, and then may sap a little bit out of him in the stretch. So 26 Black, number 3. Number 4 is Willintoriskitall. That maiden claimer, I'm telling you, that was a really impressive effort, I thought. And the fact that he had to fight with Laurel Valley all the way down the stretch, and after setting hot fractions like that, and was still able to hang in there, I think he's a pretty good fit here. It may not show up buyer-wise, but it does other places. And so I think he's got a puncher's chance at 20 to 1. And number 5 is Vacation Dance. He needs to improve on his 3-year-old form, but he has shown in the past that he can run better races. And I think that he'll be up near the pace. If he's good enough, he's got a chance, but more than likely under. So that's what the top 5 looks like for the New York Stallion series. We're going to do this every day. At Saratoga, they have a stakes race, so every day we'll have a posting to review it. So you can be on the lookout for that as well. Of course, if you do like more content like this, you can go on over to our website at thewire.com. That's got a lot of nice opportunities for you, particularly you weekend warrior players. I think you got a package there that really should be to your liking. If you're going to play in your weekend for Saratoga, that'd be a really good place. You'll have a head start on your wagering with some good analysis there. So we'll continue with our postings throughout the Saratoga meet. It's been a fun one so far. I expect it to continue. And of course, if you do like what you see here, please like and subscribe. And we thank you as always for coming by. And I'll be talking to you in the very near future. So until then, be well.